Hello again, it's Lock Noob, and one of the funniest things that you can do as a lockpicker is search for stock lockpicking images. I first saw some of these pictures on lockpicking forums, and I have to admit they are genuinely hilarious when you look at them. If you go onto any social media as well, and you see every now and again locksmiths pop up with various stock images thrown into their business card pictures, and it just seems that they're using any old junk to pick a lock with. I don't know why they're not using lockpicks. Another thing is if you search for lockpicking books, especially ebooks, again you'll see some of those stock images. The same stock images crop up. Even Lockpicking Lawyer recently made a tweet about book covers that he noticed, and these books also have the same old stock images you can find, and again you just see the most bizarre techniques. Two lockpicks being used, screwdrivers being used, just so many weird and wonderful ways in which lockpicking has been represented. I can only assume by people who've never picked a lock in their lives and probably don't have access to lockpicking tools. Another Twitter channel that you should look out for is Bad Locksmithing, a favourite of mine. And Bad Locksmithing has catalogued a number of really cool lockpicking stock images. But today, I don't want to make fun of these seemingly bad lockpicking stock images. No. I want to redeem them. I want to give them their redemption. I want to test our assumptions that they are indeed really, really badly thought out pictures by people who don't know anything about lockpicking. Maybe they know more than we think. Maybe these are lockpicking experts just using the tools they have to hand and their expert skills to open up these locks. So let's dig into it. Let's redeem these stock images and maybe we can learn something along the way. So the first image I want to explore is this one where we can see a finger file and what looks like an unbent paperclip picking a lock. Now, this does seem like it could be plausible. So looking at that image, we need a lock, a file, and a paperclip. A paperclip that was bent in a completely random way, and shame on you for suggesting that this paperclip was bent in a way that was in a similar shape to the key. How dare you for suggesting that? I can't imagine this is going to be good for the file, the lock, or the paperclip, but here we go. So let's put the paperclip in first, put the half round file in, and twist it using your fingertips. Sorry for any camera shake again, and give this a bit of a go. And, come on. We got it. Whew. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad. And actually, to be fair, reasonably plausible. Now this image, this looks like a challenge when I first saw this. This is somebody picking a dimple lock only using 2 paper clips. When I first saw this, I thought that can't even be possible, can it? Then I thought, maybe I'm giving up too easily. So this is going to actually be quite tough. I clearly need 2 paper clips and I need a what looks like a dimple lock. Now, I don't know what the model is in the picture, but this is a very generic dimple lock, completely unmodified. And here are my modified paper clips. This one was bent to give a turning tool type end like this. So I think that'll go there and provide a turning force. And then I just hit the end of a bent paper clip with a hammer a few times and just file the tip. Again, we don't know what the locksmith in this image has done to the tip of that paper clip, so I've assumed they've done exactly this and made myself a rudimentary dimple flag. But can I pick a 6-pin dimple lock? Well, I suppose we've got to try and find out. So this is going to be a really hard one, but we're going to give it a go. Got my dimple flag here. Just look at the perfection. I'm going to give this a bit of a go. Okay, so pin 1. Hard to position this, as you imagine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back through, okay. 5 and 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and we actually have the open. Look at that. Let's get the focus on for you. Actually opened using 2 paper clips. Again, whilst this is clearly a crazy way to pick a dimple lock, it is plausible, so who are we to say? There are a number of stock images out there on the internet where we see a lockpicker using 2 lockpicks to open a lock. I mean, hey, why just use one when you can use 2? But maybe this isn't actually as bad a technique as all that. So, if I'm interpreting this image right, I just need to get myself a card door lock and 2 lockpicks. Now, strange as it may seem, I don't think this is actually that implausible. It's more than possible to bend a lockpick or even a snapped lockpick into a turning tool. The other one can be kept the same, and at the right angle you can even make it look like the other lockpick isn't bent. Okay, so these old car door locks aren't exactly hard to pick, but it is a real car door lock and this is the real test. So got a ball rake here, it's a wafer lock, and we have the open. So yep, the old 2 lockpick trick, it can work, it can work. This one took me quite some time to understand. It's really difficult to see what the tool was at the top, but then I actually found exactly what it is. It's actually a little screwdriver with replaceable tips, and I think I've got the same one, albeit a different colour. Now the bottom tool, it could be a wire or a bent paper clip. It's hard to say. So this one's going to be quite difficult, so apologies in advance for any camera shake. Yeah, I'm going to try and tension this lock the best I can using the screwdriver and pop the pick wire in and just see what I can do in terms of jiggling this lock open. And we got it, we got it, we got it, we got it. Look at that. I actually do know people that have used a screwdriver as a makeshift turning tool in the past, so I don't think this is too far-fetched, to be honest. The old using 2 screwdrivers to pick a lock photograph, well, this one is bizarrely common. In fact, it's probably the most common configuration of these stock lock picking pictures, using not only the same technique, but weirdly, the same screwdrivers. So I had to get the same screwdrivers and see what the fuss was all about. So these are actually them. These seem to be the same little precision screwdrivers that you see in all of the pictures. I don't know why. Maybe it's because they're really cheap and they're all over the place to buy. But yeah, these are them. Now, I thought to myself, you know, let's assume that they're not using the screwdrivers as is. I mean, we can't tell from the pictures if they're the standard screwdrivers or they're just using these as handles. So what if they just retrofitted these lovely handles with a little bent wire lockpick and a bent wire turning tool? I mean, who's to say, right? Maybe the people in these images just really, really, really love these handles and want to make their own picks. That being said, I did actually want to know whether you could use just one of these screwdrivers as a lock pick. So wish me luck. This should actually be possible though. So this is completely unmodified screwdriver, by the way. So let's just see what we can do. A little click at the back. Little click at pin 2 and 3, and we are open. I think it's bent the screwdriver a little bit, but it is possible in a very short, low security lock with a bitting that allows it to use the screwdriver as an actual lockpick. So let's try with our modified handles. So that's our turning tool. This is the piece of bent wire, the hook that I've got here. And I mean, from distance, you might not be able to tell that these are modified. Like that, see? Very believable. Okay, so I admit this is the least believable out of all of these things I've done. But, you know, hey, if it works, right, it works. So there is that. Just got to be able to get on top of the pins and pick them. Easy said and done with like a round pick. Oh, there we go, we've got the open. That's surprisingly difficult. And what do you think to that angle? Last, but certainly not least, we have a locksmith apparently opening a lock using a lock. Picking a lock with a lock. I mean, this one's going to be hard, but it's okay. I do have my trusty spanner to keep nearby for no apparent reason, but they've got one in the image, so who am I to say? Maybe it imparts some kind of resonance to the metal and does something. I don't know. Let's have a look. Okay, I've got my clear plastic lock. I'm going to turn the key and it opened. Okay, I cheated. I just operated the bolt using the back thing. I mean, clearly, how on earth would holding a plastic lock to a lock even? I mean, this even had the key in it. How? I mean, that's just, that has to be the worst stock image, and even I cannot redeem this one, I'm afraid. But what do you think? Do you think I redeemed the other stock images? Do you think that I made them plausible? I'd love to know what you think in the comments. Do we all owe a collective apology for scoffing at these amazing stock lockpicking images? Do we? If you think so, let me know in the comments. I'll read them all, reply to as many as I can. If you like content like this, leave a like. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so because it really helps my channel out. I really enjoyed making this video. It was surprisingly hard, actually, to pick any of these, even these simple locks this way. Certainly a challenge, and I actually had a load of fun doing it. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I really do. And I'll see you all next time.